Known at the time as the Great War, or the War to End All Wars, World War I was the first global war. Lasting 4 years, it involved 30 countries and 65 million soldiers, causing unprecedented levels of carnage and destruction. It all started in Europe during the summer of 1914, when a young Serbian nationalist assassinated an Austro-Hungarian archduke. Alliances of Europe's most powerful nations, formed over the previous decades, squared off against each other, and the conflict soon spread around the world. Along the Western Front in Europe, soldiers packed into 2,500 miles of trench lines, one soldier for every 4 inches of trench. World War I introduced many technological firsts, such as machine guns, tanks, and chemical weapons. In all, more than 100,000 tons of chemical weapons agents were used in the conflict. And the first ever blood bank was set up by U.S. Army Medical Corps on a Belgian battlefield in 1917. But although the fighting was fierce, we bet you didn't know about a brief but memorable truce, which occurred on Christmas Eve 1914, when fighting spontaneously stopped along 2/3 of the Western Front. Near Ypres, Belgium, German and British troops played a football match in no man's land. Germany won 3-2. Most leaders had thought the war would be over by the holidays, but 4 more years of bloodshed ensued. World War I finally ended at 11 a.m. of the 11th day of November 1918. All in all, some 9 million soldiers were killed, a rate of at least 6,000 a day. Some 21 million more were wounded, and at least 5 million civilians died of disease, starvation, or exposure. The deadly influenza epidemic of 1918-19 also took its toll, killing more American soldiers than died in battle. Perhaps worst of all, the war to end all wars would not fulfill that promise. Instead, the Versailles Treaty's punitive terms against Germany proved a destabilizing force, helping sow the seeds for Adolf Hitler's rise and the start of another world war barely 2 decades later.